start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I live by the old code of second floor!
Why look for a scientific explanation when you can put blind trust in an invisible Sky Daddy?
Sky Daddy all the way.
Go watch your crappy sitcom! Turn up full volume, why don't you?
Aubrey, weird, I can't even get through my couch!
As I was pulling out of my my driveway on the way here, I feel this bump, dude. I just ran over something. I look behind me and my spare tire had fallen off my truck. I ran it over.
You're joking.
Just you know how my driveway has that, it's that
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, bump.
Yeah.
I just came off of it and then the tire just yeah.
What held it up? Because I had to replace that on my diesel truck.
It was a cable. It was
Okay.
yeah, and when I looked underneath, it was just
Snapped.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh. So you just throw it in the bed of your truck?
Yeah.
Dang.
That tire was old though, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
You think it would have actually
I don't even know.
held you up if you used it?
Who knows? It has plenty of tread, but
It's
it was covered in dust. Covered.
Dang, how did you get that up without getting it on your shirt?
Just just threw it on the bed.
Shoulder workout. Dang, dude.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I've never had that happen to me before.
Yeah, when I first got my diesel truck, it didn't have it. That thing was broken, so
Oh,
I
really?
had to order a new one.
Mm.
Yeah, put it on. It was very nice to have the spare tire because I was using my truck bed so much. It was nice to have the spare tire finally out of it.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah,
it was
that is
massive.
true. That is going to be annoying, having it in there.
Man, this was quite the weekend.
Yeah.
I feel like I bet a lot of people graduated. I think it's a pretty common graduation weekend for
Yeah,
colleges.
probably.
But I don't think most schools don't get out until a few more weeks.
Mm-hmm.
2 or 3 maybe. I am not looking forward to this summer heat. Every year I'm in Texas, I'm just it just is more and more noticeable to me. It really is.
Yeah. I felt like last summer wasn't that bad.
Mm.
I mean, it was bad. It's always bad. But compared to the summer before,
Yes.
that summer was brutal, dude.
It was brutal. It was
That sucked. It was so hot. Every single day, dude.
It was brutal. Yeah, I think that summer was one where it had 30 days or 60 days in a row
It was
of
50. It was over 50.
50 days in a row with
Yeah.
over 100 degrees.
Yeah,
Heat.
50 consecutive days of it being over 100 degrees. Which the record before that was 25 days in a row.
Was
So
it really?
It doubled the record that summer. Yeah.
Dude, that is wild.
Yeah, dude. That's almost 2 months straight of 100 degree weather. No rain. I remember walking outside of my backyard and it just looking like a wasteland, dude.
Because all the grass was dead?
Yeah.
I know. The springtime is so nice in Texas, but it is so short.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels like
It really
there's-
is, dude. It is so short.
Gosh,
Yeah.
like today was beautiful. The last few weeks have been beautiful,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden in May we get this freaking heat wave.
Begins.
Gosh, dude.
Yeah. Dude, we went and saw Thunderbolts again last night.
Again?
Yeah, because Zach and Lauren hadn't seen it. And so Benji was like, he came to me, he was like, hey dude, me and Nathan are to go see Thunderbolts again with Zach and Lauren. Do you want to go? I was like, I told him no at first because I didn't want to, because like, one, I'd be paying full price for the ticket.
Yeah.
And then, so he told me, Benji let me use like one of his tokens or whatever. And I went, but yeah, he came in clutch.
Heck yeah.
But what did you think? What did you think of Thunderbolts? I felt like it was like a step in the right direction. That's how I feel.
I think you said it best the other night. I do. I think like yes, it was a step in the right direction, which is the positive side. But like the reality is it's nowhere near what the original Avengers
yeah,
quality was like.
yeah.
Those movies were like, and
It was better than Captain America. I'll say that.
yeah,
It was better than the last one.
for sure.
For sure. Yeah.
I
Like
would say that like to me it didn't live up to the hype. Like people were gassing it up like crazy. It's like this is the best Marvel movie that's like, you know.
yeah, yeah.
I felt like the reviews were like insane.
Yeah.
And I saw like a good amount of people saying that it was like saw some girl's story saying that she like cried at the end of it. And I was like,
Really?
Oh my gosh, wow, it must be really good. So I think coming in with that expectation, if I would have just come in expecting it to be like Captain America, like the most recent Captain America, then I probably would have been like,
That's how I went in.
oh
But
really?
yeah. Because I only heard like a few things here and there about it. And well, and I mean honestly, I feel like I go into every movie like that now. So it's like
Honestly.
yeah. But it was good. It wasn't like anything crazy to me, but it was a good movie.
What did Zach and Lauren think?
I think they liked it. I think they weren't like going crazy about it. I don't think. Yeah. Yeah. It's just like that's the thing. Everyone keeps saying like, oh, you know, you're just comparing them to the older Marvel movies. Like they're never gonna be the same. And I get that. But to me, it's not even like that kind of comparison. It's just like, to me, I'm comparing it to like my standard of a good movie, you know? Like there's plenty of movies out now. Not plenty. They're kind of hard to come by.
Yeah.
But you can, like, there are still movies that come out today that you walk out and you're like, dang, that was a great movie.
Yeah.
Like The Wild Robot, dude. Like that movie was, I mean, this is a completely different genre, but that was a that was a freaking fantastic movie, dude.
It really was.
Like the writing, the storytelling, like everything about it. But something about Marvel, dude, like just the way that I don't know if it's like the dialogue or something, but it's just not the same. Like it's just sometimes it just feels like cheesy and forced, you know?
Yeah. It does. It feels like they're holding on to or like gaslighting us into the next Marvel scene.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just so hard to, you know, once you go through the full length story of what it took to get from the very first Marvel movie to Endgame.
Yeah.
Like, you're just not gonna, I don't know. maybe, I mean, I'm sure there's more than enough content in the Marvel comics
Oh yeah, for sure.
to
Yeah.
do it. But like, I wonder, it's like, it's almost like they put in all that work to grow the audience, and now they know they have a captive audience.
Yeah.
And so they're like,
Yeah.
well, this is a safe, relatively safe movie to make because
Yeah.
we know people are going to go see it.
Yes, dude.
So it's like they don't really, they're
There's no
like,
like risks.
yeah, they're like, nah.
It's just like a copy and paste, like a. Yeah.
That's how it feels to me now, honestly.
Mm.
I will say a movie that really surprised me that was great was that Amateur movie with
Amateur.
yeah, it's called Amateur. The actor's name is like right on the tip of my brain.
I don't think, did I watch that with you? Or
No, you didn't.
oh.
No, I went and saw it with my parents and Taylor.
Mm.
What is his name?
Hmm.
It is not working with me.
I haven't even heard of it. Amateur movie. The Amateur?
Yes. Rami
Oh,
Malek.
yeah. Oh, John Bernthal's in that? Shoot.
Yeah. No, it's got a great cast, honestly.
Hmm.
But it was one of those movies that I went in with like I hadn't seen anything about it on Instagram or YouTube ads or anything.
It was good?
And it was really good. Yeah.
Really?
Yes. Like super well written. The character development was great. His wife basically has like a great life. He's like a nerdy CIA decoder, basically.
Oh.
His wife's killed in a terrorist attack, and so he's like,
I think you just have about this movie.
yeah. And so then he like basically asked his CIA people like, hey, you gonna like go get these guys or whatever? And they're like, nah. And so he basically takes it into his own hands, and it's pretty freaking sick.
Dang.
But it's movies like that where I just wonder, I'm like, okay, the movies like that don't have like a giant presence online, like, do they spend that advertising dollars on making the movie better?
Yeah.
That's got to be such a tough decision as
I
a
know.
producer.
I saw it today on X. Apparently, the U.S. and China reached like a 90-day
I saw
agreement or something.
I saw that.
on the whole tariff war.
And this did a deal with the UK too.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
We did or China did?
We did, yeah.
Oh. Interesting. Has that still been having a pretty big effect on y'all's, like on your job and everything?
Yeah, like for materials and
Yeah,
everything. I'm pretty sure it has still increased for sure.
Like the cost for the materials?
Yeah, from China. Yeah, we got a bunch of emails from our suppliers saying that there'd be increases on all the metal posts. Thankfully, nothing on wood yet, which is awesome. But yeah, like aluminum posts, steel posts, our brackets, bolts, stuff like that. But yeah, the U.S. UK trade deal, it reduced tariffs on UK manufactured cars. It removes tariffs on British steel and aluminum exports. And the UK will eliminate its 19% tariff on US ethanol. It will permit beef imports. Wow. UK tariffs on US goods will decrease from an average of 5.1 to 1.8%. However, a baseline 10% US tariff on most UK imports remains in place. It's going to protect thousands of jobs in the UK automotive and steel industries. UK bioethanol producers have expressed that it would undercut domestic production, threatening jobs in local agriculture. Prime Minister Starmer securing this agreement alongside a UK-India trade deal within the same week marks a significant diplomatic achievement. And did you see that they reached a temporary ceasefire for the Pakistan-India war?
I did see that, dude. Yeah.
That whole thing's been crazy too.
I didn't even know until like a week ago that was I remember seeing like posts here and there about it, but I didn't realize how serious it was until like a week ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, apparently there was like there was a literal dogfight, like an airplane dogfight
between India and Pakistan.
Yes.
Gosh, dude. Holy crap.
Yeah, I think India lost like two of its most advanced fighter jets, which was crazy. Let me see.
I didn't know that India and Pakistan beefed like that, dude.
I didn't either.
That's crazy.
Dude,
I know that India beefed with anybody.
So what's crazy is what's crazy is I saw this on Patrick Bet-David's podcast. Like, there's a video of this guy. He has like a selfie stick and he's going down a zip line, and it's in Kashmir, where the first terrorist attack from India happened. And he's like basically turning while he's going down this zip line, and all of a sudden in the background, it's like a beautiful green field, like there's trees like around it. It's just like, mountains and stuff. And you just see people like start to run towards like the end of the zip line or whatever, like the same direction he's going. And you see people like starting to fall and getting shot, basically.
No
way,
bro.
It's pretty wild. And so that was like the terrorist attack on Kashmir from, I think, Pakistan on Indian people, I think.
Dude, that legit is like a Red Dawn situation.
Dude, it's so
You're
crazy.
on a zip line, bro. Gosh. I couldn't imagine that, dude.
It's crazy because the guy doesn't realize what's going on, so he's just like smiling in the camera, having a good time. And you just see people getting shot dropping behind them.
Dude.
Okay. On May 7th, India and Pakistan engaged in one of the largest aerial dogfights in recent history, marking a significant escalation in their long-standing conflict. It involved 125 fighter jets from both sides and lasted nearly an hour.
Holy crap.
That's wild. Pakistan asserted that its Air Force shot down 5 Indian jets. India acknowledged some aircraft losses, but didn't confirm specific numbers. all pilots returned safely. That's interesting.
Dude, that is crazy. That's crazy because you just don't hear about that. Like a freaking dogfight.
I can't
Like,
remember
when
the
was
last time.
that's happened, dude?
Let's ask. When was the last dogfight like this? I love that they call it a dogfight. Oh wow. Apparently there was a skirmish in 2019. That's interesting.
Like with
Like a dog, yeah, like a dogfight skirmish.
but with like from who?
India and Pakistan.
Oh, okay.
Weird.
That's interesting because I think I remember reading like for as far as America, like in our military or Air Force, whatever. Like apparently, the F-22 Raptors. I remember reading. I think I remember reading that like they've never even seen combat.
Yeah,
which is nuts.
it is.
I think those things came out. I think those things were made in like at least the first ones in like the 70s or something like that. I want to say, I could be wrong.
Yeah, I can't store all this information in my brain, dude.
Dude, yeah, you can.
I don't know if it was that I don't know if it's been that old. Are you saying that like
I think that's when they were like manufactured. I want to say when were F-22 Raptors first? Oh, okay, no. Yeah, I'm wrong. The development for them began in the 80s. And the first one came out in 1990. Or I guess the first flight of a prototype came out in 1990. Dang, I was way off.
it's all right. That's why we check ourselves.
Got to, dude. You got to. Especially when you're live.
Yeah, it really is a weird time right now. Like, I feel like people just don't really know like what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
It's like so suspenseful.
it is. It is. Like, I just think that most people are. It feels like most people are holding their breath.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how is this gonna shake out? But I think getting these deals and ceasefires and stuff done I feel like that helps a lot.
Hopefully.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. What do I know?
Hopefully it's not the calm before the storm.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, how have you been these last 2 weeks, bro? You've been like traveling everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a lot.
This has like been the only time I get to talk to you.
I know.
Like for the past, I don't know, like 3 weeks.
I know. I haven't been to a Friday night. I haven't really come over on a weekend, I feel like.
Yeah.
Where was I at the weekend before this?
I think last weekend, where'd you go? I can't even remember.
Oh, Kai and Christian's wedding.
That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got to stay at my uncle's house, and then Then this weekend was my sister's graduation and my brother-in-law's graduation.
Was the weekend before Kaya's? Was that Easter?
Yes.
I think it might have been.
It was. And my parents came down that weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's probably actually been 3 weekends that I haven't been around. Do you have any weddings that you have to go to this year?
Dude, at the moment, no.
Wow.
I haven't even thought about that.
That's got to be what, like the first time in...
Probably like a decade. Dude,
What?
Almost.
Really?
I mean, dude, like since I graduated high school, I've gone to at least one wedding every year.
Wow. That is crazy. How many of those do you think you were in a wedding? How many of those years?
I think, oh my gosh, dude. I think like 7 or 8, probably. That was like on the bridal part, like in the bridal party. Yeah.
Was that like, you think that was like in a row?
There were a couple that I just attended,
Hmm.
like 1 or 2, like Sam's I just attended.
Hmm.
But I still drove out here for it. And then who else? I think a couple other ones I just attended. Tyler's was fun, dude.
Tyler's was really fun.
Tyler's was a good time. That was a good trip.
Yeah, dude. That was... I'm going to remember that trip for the rest of my life.
Dude.
Kolchak Lake, staying with Jared and Stephanie. And Tyler's wedding. That was sick.
Dude, if so the audience won't know this, but like I'll explain it. How the venue was like an old what was it, like a bar or
Yeah.
kind of like a little
Dance hall?
yeah,
Restaurant?
something like that.
I think it was a restaurant.
It reminded me of like an old saloon or
Yeah.
something like that, dude.
Mhm.
And underneath it had, well, actually, okay, there was some famous guy
Mm-hmm.
that he was like a criminal or something, right? Like an outlaw or
Mm-hmm.
I
think it was.
remembering that
it
right?
was. They had ties to the mob. I'm pretty sure.
That's right, dude. That's
Or the
right.
mafia?
The mafia or something like that. And yeah, and there was like old wine cellars underneath
Yeah.
the
But
place.
the wine cellars had apparently a system of caves,
Yes.
tunnels.
That connected to like places all around that little town.
Yeah,
Right?
like an
Yeah.
insane amount of tunnels.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that was like tied to the prohibition, maybe, or what. But
Dude, if we would have gotten in, bro.
that would have been game over.
That would have been so sick.
We may or may not have tried to enter the wine cellar to find the caves
Without permission.
without permission.
We asked for permission. We did. But we were turned down.
Yeah. Yeah, that was something else, man. Honestly, it was such a nice break from the Texas heat. I think we
oh my
went in like
gosh.
July.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. Yeah, because it was July 4th. We
Yeah,
spent July 4th
yeah.
there.
It was
I
that
forgot
weekend.
about that too. Oh my gosh.
Dude. I couldn't believe, like, the fact. I couldn't believe I was just like walking around at that wedding from the amount of climbing and
Oh my
and
gosh.
descending that we did
I think
that day
honestly
or
the
that weekend.
hands down the worst that I felt on that entire trip was the morning that we woke up for the
Dude,
airport.
oh my gosh.
I felt like crap.
Oh, I
Like
forgot
my whole
about
body
that,
was
dude.
just
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, that was by far the worst part of the trip. Was waking up that morning.
Dude, I think you and Ryan went to the casino, and then me,
my gosh,
Jared,
I
and
forgot about that.
Stephanie watched a movie. And for some reason, I was like, I don't even know why, dude. I should have just gone to bed. I don't even know why I watched a movie, but yeah. You guys got back about the same time as.
I think I got back at like 3 or something like that. It was like 2 or 3, I think.
Was it really?
I think so, because I remember only sleeping for maybe like 2 hours.
Which I think was a terrible mistake. Terrible mistake. Yeah, I think like at that point, just staying up probably would have felt better.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, because the way that we had to leave was crazy. Did we get up at 5? Pretty sure.
It was something like that, dude. Yeah, I mean, it was like still dark outside a little bit. I remember, like when I woke up.
Man.
Gosh. That was a wild trip.
Yeah, that was brutal.
It's funny because I forget that Tyler's wedding was on that trip. Like they're like 2 different things in my mind, which they are 2 different things. But
I know, bro.
the fact that we did all that in the same weekend was crazy, dude.
I know, and the fact that we did that hike, like we just like raw dogged it. We did not even.
Yeah.
We just kind of like threw it together.
Yeah.
Didn't. Like, that's. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of hike you kind of maybe should train for.
Dude, the last like 30 minutes of that descent, like
I had to go David Goggins mode.
yes, that was hell, dude. My legs were like they were killing me, dude.
It's
It
not.
was like I couldn't even feel them. I just had to
Dude,
go, just keep going.
I would have given my arm and my leg for 2 knee braces at that point. Like my knees felt so shaky and
Dude,
weak.
Yes.
I was doing everything I could to just put one foot in front of the other.
It was so funny because those last 30 minutes, even like maybe hour, like we knew we were getting close, but it was still a while. You know, like
Yeah.
it was like that feeling where you feel like you're close, but you're not, you know, you just like keep going. And then we just hit we each got like an energy burst. And we just kicked it in gear, bro. We just went. Because I think we knew that if we stopped again,
Dude.
like it just would have been even worse.
It was such a contrasting experience between going up there at night in the middle of the night.
Dude,
Like
yes.
from 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. basically, to coming back in the morning, which, dude, we only got like 3 hours of sleep
I know.
and of bad sleep too, because we had freaking caffeine in our system.
Yeah. And the sun was coming up as we were trying to go to sleep. So
Yeah, that was rough. And honestly, the true hero, I think, was Jared for driving 4 hours there and 4 hours
Dude.
back afterwards.
afterwards, bro, I can't believe he didn't like. I mean, yeah, the fact that he was awake through that whole thing.
Do you remember when we stopped at the gas station right after?
Dude, yes.
That was a cathartic experience.
I felt like like walking into that. We stopped at like we went to a grocery store. I don't remember which one it was, but
think
remember
it
we got
was
like the ice
a-
creams and like all the water and crab, dude, and the Gatorades. I remember walking in there.
Brookshires?
Huh?
Was it Brookshire's maybe?
Maybe.
Or Kroger? It was like a Brookshire Kroger type
Yeah,
store.
something like that. I just remember like feeling like I had just gotten out of a football game. Like my whole body was just absolutely cooked, dude. Like I just
Having to step out of the car to go into the store was a remarkable memory too.
yeah.
Because after like sitting in the car for a little while after you just did all of that, the lactic acid build up.
Dude. Yeah, then we got the most expensive pizza I've ever eaten in my life.
Honestly, the food on that trip was phenomenal. I feel like every meal that we had was
It was.
amazing.
Dude. That when we spent the 4th on Lake Quarter Lane, that's like one of the best memories of my life.
I agree.
Like
I was thinking about that when you first brought up that trip.
yeah.
There's a specific moment where I remember like us driving back because you were driving for some reason
Yeah.
because I think he was
I
driving.
think I took Jared. We took Jared's car, and Jared rode with Stephanie.
Yes, and we were like playing music and driving back. It was dark. We had just spent the whole day there, and you could just see like both sides of the highway was just fireworks.
yeah.
And I just remember sitting there just like soaking this moment in of like, wow, I feel like I'm in a movie right now.
Dude, yes. That 4th of July experience was like, I mean, if you ever get a chance, whoever's watching this, to go to Lake Quarter Lane in Idaho on 4th of July, it's like, it really is like a movie experience.
It feels like old town America.
Yes, dude. Yeah. Everyone like I mean, it sounds so cheesy, but like the American spirit and like the
Yeah.
vibes are just so high. Everyone's super nice. Like it's basically like just like there's a gigantic grass field where like, you know, we were throwing the frisbee for hours. We were throwing the football, like cooking out. And then there's the lake where you can go in and swim.
The grass in Washington during the summer,
Dude.
is so perfect.
Yeah, every time the grass here, like, I get like freaking my arms like cut up everywhere.
Well, even like during the summer too, it's like it just is all dead. But
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it was a good time, dude. That was a great time. These last 4 months have been like the complete opposite of that, dude. Like just straight grinding.
straight grinding, dude. Yeah. They've been so wild. Yeah, I mean, you guys got to go on. You did get to go on that trip to Florida.
That is true. That was a good time. I will say that was a pretty good time. Oh my gosh.
What? Just your
My
finger.
arm's cramping up, dude. Oh my gosh. Jeez.
I've ever had my arm, like my actual arm, cramp up.
Dude, one time, bro, I'll tell you this. So when I was in high school, I remember going and working out with my older brother for the first time ever. And dude, I'd been, yeah, I grew up in sports, whatever.
Yeah.
I'd been in weight training before. So like, you know, I wasn't thinking it was gonna be a big deal or whatever.
Yeah,
I knew
yeah.
my older brother like trains hard.
Yeah.
But so anyways, we go. He's doing back and buys. Okay. And anyway, like basically long story short, that night I had the worst arm cramp I had ever had in my life. like dude, it was excruciating where I woke up and like my arm just like locked like this. Like literally it just like it just like that. And dude, I had to like literally to open up my arm, I had to like massage it out to where I could like finally extend it.
What?
And then I would like lay down and it would just like come back like this.
No way.
Yes, dude. It hurt so bad, bro. It's kind of doing right now. Gosh. And then I remember going to school the next day and like all my friends were making fun of me because they were still like locked up. So I was walking around school like this the whole day, bro. Like my arms were just, and all my friends were like, dude, you're faking it, bro. Like you're not even like, what are you doing?
Dude, I remember, yeah, like that's what happens after a really, really bad bicep or good bicep workout.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
You can't like extend your, it feels like you can't really extend your arms.
Yeah, it's a wild feeling. And it hurts, dude. It freaking hurts. Yeah, I'll never forget that, bro.
I remember the first time that I ever did summer workouts going into high school, and I did deadlifting for the first time with high schoolers. And I think I was in 8th grade going to high school, and I think they made me do, I think it was like 10 sets of 10 or something like that.
Dang, that's high reps for 10 sets of 10.
It was something crazy like that.
What?
And it was a weight that like was, you know, good for them, but was like really pushing me.
Yeah.
I literally remember not being able to walk for a week.
Dude, I bet.
Sitting down and going to the bathroom was so painful. Unbelievably painful. Like I hurt in places I didn't know I had places.
Was that your first time doing deadlifts?
I remember, yeah. I remember that being the first time I did deadlift.
Dude, doing 10 sets of 10
For the first
time on deadlift is kind of insane.
It destroyed me,
gosh.
dude. Destroyed me. Yeah.
That's wild. Yeah, I have not done deadlift since my incident. So
Good. Seriously. It's a good thing.
dude, I haven't done back squat in like a year.
Probably
So
good. Yeah. I literally don't think I'll ever do back squat again.
honestly, I don't know if I will either.
Like,
It doesn't seem worth it.
yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, my disc. I didn't even know. So the time that I went, the last time that I did it was at YMCA, and I was like, oh, dude, I can do squats, like be fine. And I remember I did, you know, probably like 135,
Yeah.
and like it hurt my back. So not necessarily right then, but like the next day or the next week, I was like, oh, like this is a problem. It's a problem.
Yeah.
So
That sucks.
yeah. I didn't know at the time, like until I got in a car wreck later and got to actually get an MRI that
Oh yeah.
that like my powerlifting injury from high school was actually like a herniated disc that's like pushing into my spinal cord, which is crazy. So that's why.
That is actually crazy, dude.
That is why. But yeah, like you said, it is a big risk.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it. Like, why do that when you could do leg press or literally any other leg lift and be fine?
Yeah. I will do front squat from time to time, just like kind of like a lighter weight, but yeah, I think I'm done with back squat and deadlift. Dude, something that has like changed my life is it's like the back extender. it's like a bench.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And you lock your feet in behind, like at the bottom behind you, and you
Uh-huh.
like you lean forward and come back up.
Yes.
Dude, that has like changed my life, bro. It's crazy how
It strengthens
like,
your lower back and your core.
yeah, but and then your hamstrings too.
Mm.
Because I didn't know that. I didn't know that before my like whole back incident, but like some of the muscles in your hamstrings are tied to your back.
Mm.
So sometimes if your hamstrings are really tight and or like your hips too, like the back pain can just be a symptom of your hamstrings or hips being tight and not the actual problem, which was my case.
Really?
So ever since I started doing that and like a few other things, yeah, which that was like the main one.
We had two of those at my very small high school gym, and I remember doing those, and like that was the best my posture's ever been, the strongest my back's ever been.
Yeah.
It's just,
You know what's crazy, dude? When I was in high school, like starting my football program,
mhm.
okay, I think I know like the reasoning why my coach did this, but dude, like all he had us do, I'm like no lie, every single day was bench, power clean, squat. And then we do like a little bit of conditioning afterwards. But that was every day, dude. Every single day. Bench,
Classic.
power clean, squat. Like,
Classic.
isn't that kind of wild? Yeah. Which we were all like new. Like it was like the football program was new. So we had a lot of kids who had never lifted before.
Oh, okay.
So it kind of makes sense that like, you know, to do it that way.
Yeah.
But
I feel like that's the 2000 to 2020 like strength coach starter pack
yes.
for the South, at least, like Texas, Florida, South. It's like if you can't do those things, then you're basically useless
Yeah.
as an athlete.
Gosh.
Yeah, truly.
Dude, so last week okay. You remember the whole like the little A10 Mini Pro?
Mm-hmm.
I sold it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I sold it on Facebook last week. And I went and met this guy. And as I was selling it to him, I found like he was telling me what he needed it for, and he said he was a church planner and that he was like getting it for his church. Yeah. I was like, oh dang, dude. Like I know that's a lot of work. And he was super cool. But then like I told him I was just starting my bookkeeping business. And I was just like kind of going back and forth. But then like as we're leaving, he was like, dude, mind if I just pray for you and your business? I said, dude, yeah, sure, why not? And it's like right there in the parking lot, he just prayed for me for it's like a minute or whatever. And I don't know, it was just cool. Like
That's super cool.
It just felt cool. Yeah, I was like, dang, dude. Like that's what church is about, you know? It just felt good. It felt good. It wasn't even like I don't know. I wasn't like down in the dumps or anything, but it was just like, it was just uplifting.
Yeah.
You know? It was just uplifting. It was good. I appreciate people like that.
Yeah.
Because that's when, it's like when I meet a total stranger and he's able to just pray for me. Like, I know he's like a church planner, so it's kind of like his thing. Probably prays for a lot of people, but that's just like when I feel like in a lot of cases, like just it's like, dang, like this is what it means to be in the body of Christ. You know, like this is what it means to be the church. Is that I can meet someone I've never met before and immediately have like this connection. You know?
Yeah, like a brother, like a brother in Christ.
Yeah.
That is super cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Did he say like where he was planning the church?
I don't remember where he said it was, but it was called. He said it's called Family Life Church or something like that. So.
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for church planners, man. The guy who is the husband to our kids pastor at Freedom, they tried to do a church plant, and he told me about it, like what the experience was like, and I was like, holy crap, dude. I mean, it's crazy. It's really crazy.
I mean, yeah. It's got to be like one of the most difficult things to do.
I think so. This is like you got to do this. It's basically a startup company.
Yeah, yeah.
But you
don't really have like a product to sell or anything.
You don't.
Yeah.
And you also have to deal with like the ministry aspect. The spiritual responsibility is a whole different side of things. And every single person that comes in like now becomes extremely important, like in general, right? And so it's like it's just probably so hard to not just try to please people because to like keep them there.
Yeah, well, it's hard to like even like how do you even convince people to like, you know, most people have a church that they're comfortable going to already.
Yeah.
So to have to like convince people to like come to your church, even though it's not going to be probably what they're used to, you know, like it'll probably be like very bare bones, which some people are looking for that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So,
gosh, man.
But it does. It's like, I mean, it is cool. I know we've said like a lot about church on here, but it does make you have like a lot of respect for Pastor B.
It does, yeah.
And like what he's built.
Yes. You know? Yeah, 100%. And
still building. I mean, it's still
dude
growing significantly. So.
Yeah, he just got back from Israel.
That's right.
Him and Pastor Jennifer. Yeah.
It was like was it just them two, or it was like a group they took, right? Or
I think it was a group that took them, I'm pretty sure. Or they were like, they had like 2 open spots, something like that. And apparently it was like one of the like best theologians for like the whole area was with them on the trip.
Really?
Yeah. And yeah, he was floored about it.
I bet.
Understandably so.
Yeah.
You know? Him and Taylor were vibing about it because Taylor's been to Israel too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Dang, dude, I would kill to go to Israel. That'd be sick.
Dude, it was so funny. He was like, the Sunday he got back, he was talking about it, and he said, we're gonna put a trip together in December or whatever. And he's like, it's totally safe, like everything's good there. And I think like the next day I saw something that was like Tel Aviv, Israel's airport in Tel Aviv bombed.
No way.
He has like like one random missile struck it, or there's like something like that, and it was just cracking me up. It's like, dang. But Taylor was there like right when COVID happened. They like barely got out in time.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine if they'd gotten stuck there.
Dude, that
what
would
a
be
nightmare!
wild.
What a nightmare that must have been. It is crazy to think about that. There's probably people that were all across the world that when everything shut down, they literally were stuck.
Yeah.
For however long.
Yeah, who knows?
And just had to, I don't know, figure it out.
That would be wild. I mean, I remember thinking I was gonna get stuck in Spokane, Washington.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, when I went to visit Jared.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I remember like we were all at my brother's friend's house, and we're just playing games. I think we were playing Uno or something, and like they were all like, I specifically remember them like wanting to be on their phone. They're just like, oh shoot, dude, like I don't know if you're gonna be able to make it home, you know, like because they're telling me that California had just shut down their borders, wasn't letting anyone out or anything, so they were all, I mean, nothing happened, so, but they were all acting like I was gonna have to stay there for like however long, and I was just like, oh my gosh.
Wait, from that point, like, did you already have a flight booked, or did you?
I
book one
did
right
already,
then?
yeah, I had my return flight booked.
Huh.
So, but they were acting like, you know, I wasn't gonna be able to leave. I was like, well, guess we'll see, you know.
Really?
Like, yeah. Could you imagine if I got stuck out there, like, and I mean, dude, that would have been, I think that was like a week or so after the spring break trip.
What?
Yeah,
That's right, because you came in and you were like, dude, I think I'm gonna go to Spokane.
dude, yes,
Because you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna have a chance like this again.
yeah.
Something like that.
Because we had the spring break trip, came back. That's when we found out they were kicking everyone out of the dorms.
Mm.
And then yeah, like we had no classes. I was like, well, I might just go visit Jared. So, dude, that was such a weird time. Like being on campus with no classes going on, and like everyone's being forced to leave.
Crazy.
It was such a strange thing.
Crazy. It was a crazy time. Gosh.
Yeah.
Going back the next fall
I bet that was weird.
was brutal. I mean, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful we got to actually go back, because I know a lot of people didn't. But it was pretty rough, dude.
Well, it's good that Reed was there.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what I would have done.
That would have been rough. Like, if it was just you.
I mean, it was rough, like, the next semester when he left. Like, that was rough still, because it was still kind of, yeah, it was still pretty COVID-y. But just to have him that next semester was so
Yeah, I bet.
yeah. Yeah, last year really was crazy.
Dude, last year?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah,
we did a lot.
I know. Trying to think of how we can top it this year. Nah, I need to get some clients first.
Yeah. Is that it?
Well, yeah, I feel like. Yeah, that's.
It's like I got everything out.
I mean, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for watching and tuning in for another episode of Second Floor Experience. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for sticking around. And we will catch you on the next episode of the Second Floor Experience podcast. Peace.
Peace out.
We are almost right.
I want to talk to you. Not now. Later. No, now.